Tymora's hair. As the rest of the group searched the abandoned room of the Earth Prophet, Muezza felt strangely withdrawn. Something was distracting him, and he couldn't pin down exactly what it was. He sat down on the edge of the bed of the sumptuously appointed chamber, with its tapestries of gold and brown, and fine mahogany furniture. His eyes followed Jadago as his fellow Tabaxi searched tirelessly for clues of the Medusa's whereabouts. As Muezza drifted deeper and deeper into daydream, he floated on the waves of Leilune's sonorous voice as she took control of the search. Muezza's mind wandered further and rested on the image of a human woman sitting at a mahogany dresser, combing her waist-long blonde hair as she stared into its mirror. Muezza sat behind the woman so as to see her reflection, but for the moment she did not react to his presence. As he continued to stare, Muezza began to realize that the woman was in the same room as him, but that his companions were nowhere to be seen. He started, but could not stand, and it was at this moment that the woman's reflection acknowledged him with a smile. "Sleepy Muezza needs a rest," she chided him, continuing to comb her hair with long, deliberate strokes. "Must you make fun of me, lady?" Suddenly realizing who she was. "I do not have the benefit of being immortal and not requiring sleep. Must the gods always tease us for being fallible?" Tymora laughed, a wonderful peal of laughter that both lifted Muezza's spirit and caused consternation. "Silly Tabaxi," she chided once more. "We tease you because we envy you. To feel as you do and be under the constant threat of oblivion. Surely, only through such a test can one feel most alive." She stopped combing for a moment and put on a somber face. "Tell me, my Muezza, what does it feel like to fear death?" "Fucking terrible," the Tabaxi replied, and the goddess erupted into sudden gales of mirth, prompting Muezza to smile his toothy smile and join in. It was a good minute before he could compose himself once more, by which time Tymora had restarted combing her hair. "Where are my friends?" Muezza asked her, suddenly remembering they were not around. "Where you left them," she replied, smiling via her reflection once more. "Where I left them?" the Tabaxi asked in a confused tone. "I haven't gone anywhere." Tymora stopped once more to place the comb deliberately on the dresser, before smiling back through her reflection. "Poor Muezza. Poor Muezza," she repeated. The Tabaxi began to feel confused. "Muezza," she said once more. "Muezza. Muezza. Muezza." Muezza woke suddenly. "Where is she?" he blurted, sitting up on the bed he had dozed upon. "Where is who?" Helfi replied. The rest of his companions looked at him warily, Jadago with little concern. "The lady," he began, before looking over at the dresser. Leilune laughed. "Oh dear, you dreaming of ladies can only mean you're in need of some attention when we return to civilization." Muezza deflected the jest. "No, I mean—" Yeah, Helfi interrupted, and they began to get ready to leave the room. Muezza rubbed his eyes, still seated on the bed. He stared towards the dresser, half expecting to see Tymora's reflection staring back at him in the mirror, but there was nothing but the darkness of the room. He stood up, and then spun his head back to the dresser. The comb! It was still there. Muezza retrieved it. "What would a Medusa want with a comb?" Leilune asked, seeing what Muezza had just found. "It wasn't there a minute ago," Quirky offered. "I checked." "Then where did it come from?" Helfi asked no one in particular. Muezza ignored all of them, holding the comb up to the light of a nearby torch. A single golden thread of hair was wound neatly around the comb. With the deftest of touches, He untangled it to see that it was at least 5 feet long. Leilune gasped. "Who is the woman you saw?" she demanded, and Muezza quickly recounted his dream, not taking his eyes off the hair. "That was no dream," the Aluskan Warlock stated with certainty. "You have been blessed, Muezza. Place the hair in your bow." As soon as Leilune said it, it was obvious. Muezza unslung his bow and bent it to remove the gut string, before delicately replacing it with Tymora's hair. As he allowed tension to return to the string, he was almost convinced it would be torn apart, but the hair had an uncanny strength, and Muezza felt a surge of divine energy flow into the weapon. He tested an arrow in it, and it flew with unerring accuracy, but he somehow knew that he had been granted great fortune, or the opportunity to choose his fortune. A great treasure indeed. His companions congratulated him on his bounty before they left the room to explore the rest of the temple. But in that moment, 4 were now set against 1, whether they knew it or not. The gods had chosen their weapons and granted them each a boon. It was now up to fate to decide the course of Faerun. Thank you for listening to the progress of my Dungeons & Dragons group as they make their way through the Princes of the Apocalypse campaign setting. Watch out for further episodes, where we shall see the party confront the cult of the Eternal Flame in their mission to rid the valley of the influence of the Elder Elemental Eye.